What are we at?
Week 41 and a very exciting first episode.
Yes.
Although at the same time, disappointing in a way. Because
Yes.
they very much wrap up something we've been waiting for in like 4 seconds.
Yeah, 200 episodes we've been wanting this whole, what's this going to happen with the manslaughter and Burke and Roger and,
Yeah.
and what happened?
Well, Roger tells him that the money was not for silence, it was for extortion, that Sam was going
to lie
and whatever,
yeah.
But Liz believes Burke and says she's going to call the police on Roger, and she goes to dial and Burke stops her and he's like, wow, I didn't think you would do that, and that makes everything better somehow. So, Roger, all you have to do is admit to me that you did it and you're off the hook forever.
So he does.
And that's over.
Roger confesses to Burke, and yes, I was the one driving, and yes, I sent an innocent man to prison for 5 years, and Burke's like, that's all I wanted to hear. See you guys. Another BFFs? I don't know. I don't know. So disappointing. Yep. Your prediction was wrong.
My prediction
was... prediction last week. What would you predict? That there would be held.
He'd go to jail.
He'd go to jail.
He'd go to jail for a little while.
At least be a trial. Would we get something? No, it's just nothing. And it's over.
And he's over it.
201 episodes.
So then we move on to the whole Jason thing.
In the same episode, that just wrapped that up at the beginning, and then we get more of the Jason fiasco with him and Liz. And
David had seen him in the basement and told Liz just innocently, and so she goes down and confronts him, and he's out with it that Liz killed Paul, and he helped her bury him in the little locked room.
Mm-hmm.
Although it is exciting, but I don't know why she had to be there all the time. Why does she feel like is someone going to go into that room and dig up the ground? This is her greatest fear that's going to happen.
Yes,
someday.
It's a locked room. I'm sure she'd be able to, go out to a restaurant for dinner and not have to worry that someone's back at home digging up the basement.
No one's going to go into that room and be gone. I wonder what she's hiding in here. Let's dig up the floor just in case she buries something. Anyway.
They could do that anyway if she was sleeping or out at the cottage. There was no reason for her to stay at Collinwood.
But anyway, we know why now.
We know why, yes. And you were right, sort of.
Yeah.
About your theory that he was dead.
Was dead, and then Willie just hits on everyone the entire rest of the episode and ruins everyone.
The rest of the week.
Yeah, that's what I meant, the rest of the week.
Yeah, the whole rest of the week. It was just Willie hitting on every single woman.
He hits on Maggie, and Joe almost fights him, but Jason comes in and stops it, and then he insists, Willie insists on getting money now, and he wants to go stay at Collinwood, and Jason's like, no, you need to be patient, that's going to ruin everything, and so then what does he do? Shows up at the door.
Just shows up.
And says, oh, I'm accepting your invitation to stay here.
Yeah, right in front of Carolyn. So he had to come up with a way of finagling him in there, and it was a weird way of doing it, where he talks to Jason talks to Mrs. Johnson, and it's like, oh, is the room prepared for? It's like, what room? Oh, Elizabeth must have forgotten to tell you that my friend Willie's staying here. She's like, oh, I better go ask her. No, don't do that. You'll embarrass her.
And then she finds out anyway.
So then what? Yeah. So she goes to do it and runs into Elizabeth, and she apologizes for having forgotten that she forgot or whatever. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So then, what was his plan there?
Jason convinces her that Willie needs to stay because more blackmail. Yeah. And then he's in the study. Willie's in the study, and Vicky's in there, and he hits on her and doesn't let her leave. And Liz wants to kick him out right away, but then Jason kind of is like, oh, but did he really bother you? Did he really this or that? And Vicky's just like, no, I guess not, even though, he did.
Yeah.
So that seemed odd. And then she was kind of questioning Liz, why, what does he have on you that you're making him stay? I guess she doesn't really say that part out loud. She does talk to Carolyn about it later. What does he have on her? They're confused as to why she's letting all of this happen, because Liz is very strong, and all of a sudden she's just letting these weird things happen. So, and then the gals are having coffee in the morning, Carolyn and Vicky. And
in strolls little Willie.
Well, I guess he meets Roger first.
Oh, yes, he met Roger's, I don't know, doing some pretending busy work in the drawing room at his desk, and Willie comes in and is kind of standing beside him. He's like, who are you? A strange man in that.
And so he's not happy that he's there either, but he goes to Liz. which we don't see, but Roger tells Carolyn and Vicky that he went to Liz and asked about him, and she said, well, if you don't like it, you can just leave. So, and then Willie comes into the kitchen and starts ordering the girls around, like, oh, go get me coffee, go get me breakfast, whatever. And Vicky actually does it because she tells Carolyn that she saw that he looked kind of like an angry man that would kill somebody.
Right.
And then so he hits...
when he was going to fight that guy at the bar.
So then he hits on Carolyn in the kitchen, and then he hits on her again later in the drawing room. And
he hits on Vicky at the bar. They go to the Vicky and Burke go to dinner at the bar at the Blue Whale, and Willie strolls in for no reason at all. And
well, Burke just kind of warns him, like, do not mess with those women up there.
Yeah, and I thought they were going to get into a fist fight. That was so.
But Burke stands up, and Willie. For sure, and Willie kind of backs down, and but then he
leaves.
Then he goes home and hits on Carolyn, like really creepy and bad and whatever. So she pulls a gun on him.
Yeah, this gun that apparently Roger keeps in his desk drawer, where anyone can find David could just open up the drawer and it's just sitting right there.
And then so he says, "This okay? I'll leave for now, or whatever. I'll leave you alone for now." And then he leaves and goes upstairs. The next morning, Carolyn tells Elizabeth that she almost killed him with the gun and that he wouldn't leave her alone. And so she goes to Jason and says he needs to be out today. But Jason convinces her again, like, no, he needs a few days to, like, figure out somewhere to go and whatever. So she agrees again to that. So they go.
I thought she was going to stand up and
she was.
Like, no. She was.
She was, but then back down.
Mm-hmm. Thought we were going to at least get him out of the house, or say, oh, he can stay at the cottage, Matthew's cottage.
Yeah, somewhere.
That Laura's gone, or just throw him in the old house. There's no electricity or heat. Somewhere, just get him out of the house.
Like, I thought I didn't like Jason, and now that Willie's around, Jason's looking a whole lot better.
Yeah, Jason's like one of the best characters now. That we're rooting for Jason. We hated him last week.
Liz is like super upset and wants to protect Carolyn no matter what. So she's willing to go to the police and tell them about Willie, and even though it could get her in trouble.
Yeah, and I don't know what Jason is even thinking would happen here, because if he goes to the police, he's implicating himself. Yeah. Because he helped cover up her murder. So he would be going to jail too. So she could be threatening him right back.
Yeah. So he's
like, well, if you don't get out of my house, then I'm going to go to the police and tell them what you did.
But I guess she's not thinking that way. I don't know.
I guess not. That's how I would think. If someone blackmails me, I just blackmail them right now.
Yeah, you do it. And then Jason kind of threatens Willie, like, you're ruining this for us. We're not going to get anything. And so then David comes in and says, oh, look, you're looking at the painting. I can tell you all sorts of things about the house. And
about Jeremiah, who says is his great-grandfather.
And then he drags him into the hall where the mirror was previously, and now there's a picture of Barnabas Collins.
Who could that be?
I don't know. Except for I kind of do.
It looked like Johnny Depp a little bit. No, maybe not. Didn't look like Johnny Depp, even a little bit.
And then they just kept like zooming in on the face, and then Willie leaves to go get a drink, and then they zoom in more and more, and the eyes seem to be
heartbeat
glowing. Oh yeah, the heartbeat. Yeah, that was
pounding.
So if you don't know what's going on,
it's a trick. Painting. They just they rigged it up. It's kind of cool.
I felt like the eyes were gonna blink, but I was let down. They were kind of glowy, but I don't know. They just kind of looked weird. So if you don't know who Barnabas is or have no idea, it would be very confusing. Like, what is with this painting? Why are you zooming in on this painting?
Yeah.
But something's going down, so that's kind of exciting. I didn't think it would happen quite yet.
Yeah, you thought when we get Barnabas, like
300, 350.
350 episodes or so, and so...
He might take a while to do whatever he's doing. I have no idea.
Things dry out a lot on Dark Shadows, so
200 more episodes.
It might be another 200 episodes before we actually see someone playing Barnabas. But
well, I think Willie is going to get what's coming to him real soon.
That's your prediction?
Yep.
What's coming to him? What do you think is going to...
I don't know. I want Burke to get him still, but I don't think
that's what I want too. Well, he's going to the bar. Maybe Burke will be at the bar, and then he can punch him out there again.
I think Liz is getting braver, and I think she's going to finally stand up for herself and for her family. And
it seems like that's how it's all going to come out. Is he's going to push her to her just look fine. Then it's out.
Yeah, and she's going to
kind of what happened with Roger.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how it'll be.
What do you got?
I'm not sure. Not sure what I can predict.
Oh, and we wanted to mention that on the Thursday episode, it was take 3.
Yes, on the
which
slate it
is
was take 3, which was
unheard of. We've
yeah.
seen take 2
Given
pretty
how
late.
many mistakes they make that get on the air, what must have happened for them to have to do it 3 times? That's
It was just the
ridiculous.
girls in the kitchen, so I don't know what happened there. But anyway, that was our.
I don't know. Oh, so what's your what's going to happen with this painting, this Barnabas guy?
I have no idea. Apparently, he's gonna.
I think he's gonna try out to be a vampire.
No.
No?
That's ridiculous.
That's my prediction, I think.
All right.
I don't know, maybe not.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Bye.
Bye.